באנו חושך לגרש, בידינו אור ואש, כל אחד הוא אור קטן, וכולנו אור איתן. Light is returning, even though this is the darkest hour, no one can hold back the dawn. Let's keep it burning, let's keep the light of hope alive, make safe our journey through the storm. חלשכות סורה מפני האור, סורה חושך חלשכות סורה מפני האור. One planet is turning, circle on her path around the sun. Earth Mother is calling her children home. Light is returning, light is returning, light is returning, light is returning.
Good evening, Shabbat Shalom. I'm so glad we can be together this evening to celebrate a very special Shabbat Chanukah. It is the second night of Hanukkah, bringing some extra light into this world. If you were with us for dinner, you joined us in already lighting our menorot, our Chanukiot, the special candelabra that we use for this holiday. But it is a pleasure to welcome Shabbat, to welcome this holiday, to welcome one another, to welcome members of our adult choir who I would love to have come join us as you lead us in prayer, as we begin with some songs recognizing the specialness of this day among all of our Shabbat days. The words can be found on the screen when you catch the melody. We hope you'll join us.
Six
that wonderful combination of Spanish and Hebrew that forms Ladino. If there are any Yiddish speakers, you know the phenomenon of Jews taking their language of prayer and taking the language of the vernacular and smushing them together into a language that only we could speak. If you're Sephardic, this may have made a little more sense, although I trust the Spanish speakers among us were able to keep up as well. It is wonderful that we can join together on this festival of lights to bring some extra light, to bring some extra warmth into this dark time of year.
I agree.
We turn to page 2 in our prayer books. Those prayer books can be found under your seat, as on page 2 we find the blessing for the lights of Shabbat. Having already kindled the Hanukkah lights, we turn our attention to our day of rest, our day of peace. We are on page 2. Thank you so much. Bringing light into a dark time of year is what Hanukkah is all about. It lifts our spirits, it lifts our soul when it gets dark at 2:30 or 3, as it does right now in the world. It brings that light, it brings that warmth when we need it most. Truly, for many of us, getting to be together in Jewish community on this night is bringing the light when we need it most. And it is wonderful to add to the blessings of Shabbat, to add to the blessings of Hanukkah, to add the blessing of welcoming a new life into this congregation. Aurora Lee, would you bring your parents up here? to have proud grandparents and great-grandparents and aunts and uncles with us to celebrate is exciting as well. Ruby, come on up here too, please. Sam and Jessica, it is a pleasure to get to celebrate this with you again, to welcome a wonderful new young person into the world, into your family, into the life of the community. Truly, you are bringing new light, new life into this world in a way that is going to make it better not only tonight, but for all of the days to come. It is a pleasure to use her Hebrew name for the first time this evening. Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu kayem et hayalda hazot la'aviv v'lima v'yikareh shema b'Yisrael. Lelit bat rishon shalev v'Jessica. Yismach ha'av b'yotzeit chaletza v'tagel ima b'fri v'itna zot hakatana gedola tiyeh kashem nichanes labrit kain tichanes l'torah v'lechuppah v'lema'asim tovim. Our God and God of our ancestors, sustain this child in her parents' loving care. Let her be known among our people by the name Lilit. May her name be a source of joy to her, inspire her to serve all of humankind. May her parents rejoice in the growth of her body and her soul as they bring her into the covenant. So may they, with wisdom and with patience, lead her to a lifetime of study, to a lifetime of good deeds, and to companions always worthy of her presence. And together we say, Amen. Yep, for saying a few words about it.
So her English name is Aurora, which is symbolic of the day, and so we chose the name Lilit to give her a nice balance with night.
Thank you. And as you make your way back to your seat, please, it is a blessing for Cantor, Kalix, and I to offer over you and your expanding family words of Birkat Kohanim, the priestly blessing. Would you join me in that English? May God bless you and keep you. May the light of God shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May God be with you on this new journey and bless you as you have blessed us with the gift of peace. We don't really need to invent a reason to share in this blessing, thanking God who has given us life, who has sustained us, and who has enabled us to reach this time. Shabbat itself would be enough. Chanukah itself would be enough. The gathering of this sacred community would be enough. And Aurora, you are the cherry on top, sister. Welcome, welcome.
Baruch
continue in song, we continue in prayer as we turn to page 20 and 21 in our Siddur, welcoming Shabbat as we are wont to do with words of Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Ishmiyanu el hameyuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, L'shem ultiferet v'lithilah. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, Ki mekor haberacha, Meir rosh mikedahem nesucha, Sof ma'aseh b'machshava tchila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri, Ki va'orech kubi ori, Uri shir daberi, Kavod Adonai Alayich nigla. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela.
We invite you to rise as is comfortable.
Boi v'shalom aderet bala, Gam besimcha u'betzola, Toch emunei yom segula. Boi chala, boi chala. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela.
Invite you to take this opportunity, having welcomed Shabbat, to turn to the people beside you to wish them welcome, to say Shabbat Shalom. Friends, you are welcome to find your seats. Don't worry, there are sufganiot, the fancy Hebrew word for donuts, after the service to continue this conversation. For now, though, let us continue our welcoming. We are on page 24, words of Shalom Aleichem. Would you join me on the bottom of page 27? Entrances to holiness are everywhere. The possibility of ascent is all the time, even at unlikely times and through unlikely places. There is no place on earth without the presence.
ועמדי ורחירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי תכל בית ישראל בגלה ובזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן יהי שמרו ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמרו קודשו בריחו לאלה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דאמירן בלה
We are on page 28 in our prayer book, our Baruch Hu praise. If it is comfortable for you to do so, we would invite you to rise as we join together in prayer.
La
creative setting for the prayer found on page 30 can be found on the screens in front of us. We turn to pages 34 and 35, the watchwords of our faith, Shema Yisrael. Welcome to be seated. We're approaching the section of our service that we've been using for the last 2 months to offer prayers for the state of Israel and for its inhabitants, knowing that we are a community that gathers this evening from all different ages and all different understandings. Instead of being particularly heavy-handed from the pulpit, we would invite you to allow the words of Ma'oz Tzor, one of our Hanukkah traditional classic favorites, to wash over you in a different way this holiday season. We begin on page 40 with our Mi Chamocha prayer, our prayer not only thanking God for freedom, but for the responsibility to use that freedom. And we transition into those words of prayer. page 259. Would you join us in the English of a prayer for the state of Israel? Page 259. O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen. And we join in a creative setting of our Hashkivenu praise, asking for a sense of shelter, asking for a sense of protection for those who so badly need it. We turn back now in our prayer books to the top of page 45. On the top of page 45, we find an English reading in which we might join together. We are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time. Our service continues on pages 46 and following. We invite you to rise in body, if it is comfortable, in spirit, that we might join together in these prayers.
Adonai, Shabbat tiftachu v'yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol. מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סמך נופלים ורופאי חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני יפות, מחמו חבל גבורות, ומדם מלך מביט ומחיה, ומצליח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלע. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
I invite you to continue with silent prayer, offering the traditional words through page 62, or those silent prayers that can only come from each of our own hearts. When you have finished your prayer, we invite you to be seated, unless you are members of our wonderful adult choir, in which case we invite you to come forward. Special insertion to this prayer 264, page 264. We invite you now to turn back but a few pages to page 253. On page 253 in our prayer book, we find our Mishaberach Lecholim, our prayer for those who are ill and in need of healing. If you have loved ones you are thinking of in needing of healing of mind, of body, of spirit, we invite you to share their name in the community. Baruch atah Adonai rofeh hacholim. Blessed are you, God, who brings a measure of comfort to all in need. And together we say, Amen. Sometimes, when a story is good, it's worth retelling again and again and again. So bear with me if you think you have heard this one. Dusty, road-weary travelers arrived in a small village at the very start of Chanukah. All they really wanted was a bath. They wanted to sit by the lights of the Chanukiah. They wanted a warm meal. But everyone was so preoccupied with lighting their own candles, they didn't even notice the strangers who had arrived in the middle of town. Those strangers waited, and they realized that if they were going to have a meal this evening, they were just going to have to do it themselves. Those strangers did their best to light a fire right in the middle of the town, and they rummaged around in their pack and pulled out the biggest frying pan, really, that anyone had ever seen. There was such a commotion going on. They were working so hard that they knew that they needed the opportunity to ask others to help. And they were making such a clatter with all of their hard work that villagers just started to come and wonder what was taking place in their village square. They saw the frying pan, they smelled the little bit of oil that was starting to get ready, and they said, "What is it you're making in the middle of town?" And the road-weary travelers said, "We're making the most delicious Hanukkah treat. You really should come try some." And the first villager said, "That sounds really good. How do you do it?" And the dusty, road-weary travelers said, "You just need just a little bit of potato. Do you happen to have a potato at your house that we could use? Does anybody in this village have a potato?" "Ah, a potato! Please, villager! We could use your potato in this big frying pan right here." Oh, and the villagers contributed their potato. And pretty soon it got to smell even better throughout the whole village. And it made others want to come join. And other villagers were starting to come forward. And they said, "What are you making?" And the road-weary travelers said, "The most delicious thing for Hanukkah. But now there are a whole lot of you. Any chance someone has even more potato?" "Ah! I could use your potato. Will it fit?" "Oh, it fits perfectly." "Great, we now have 2 potatoes. You know what would make these latkes taste even better? Any chance someone has an onion?"
"Hey, Rabbi, I got an onion."
"Ah! We're doing well. I can start to smell it already. We've got potatoes. We've got an onion. to make these latkes even more tasty, to feed the entire village, we probably have to season them up a little bit. Does anybody have salt and pepper they might get to contribute? If everybody just brings just a little bit, that would be enough. Salt and pepper, anyone? Anyone? Oh, great. I can hear it coming. Add it on in. Thank you both, villagers. All right. And before you knew it, there were golden brown latkes for the entire village, flavored with onion and salt and pepper. And the villagers had the best time they had ever had. Until, believe it or not, even in the midst of that spirit of community, a little bit of a dispute, a fight, a challenging opinion broke out. There was actually one group of villagers who said, I can't really eat these the way they are. Does anybody in their house have some sour cream? We can't eat latkes without sour cream. Oh, good, there's some sour cream out there. I'll take that off your hands. We've got some sour cream, perfect. And the other group of villagers said, ew, who put sour cream on their latkes? Did anybody think to bring some applesauce? I see some applesauce. Fantastic, thank you so much. And it turns out, with everybody's contributions, when everybody added their potato, or their onion, or their Eli, or their salt, or their pepper, or their applesauce, or their sour cream, there was enough to go around to feed the entire village. And those dusty, road-weary travelers had made the Chanukah meal that they so desired, not only for themselves, but for the community around them. Coming together around latkes and the Chanukah candles is what we do this evening, and it feels more important this year than most years. For some of us, for many of us, we may feel like those road-weary travelers, simply navigating today's world. We may feel as if we've been disconnected from our community. And so to be here tonight, to be surrounded in the embrace of other Jews, to remember that we are not alone, and to embrace the importance of our identity rather than allowing others to drive it from us, is actually what Chanukah is all about. May we take this light, may we take this warmth, and yes, may we take the calories from all of these latkes with us for the many days to come. Shabbat Shalom and happy Hanukkah. Thank you to everyone who helped me tell this story tonight. Friends, we turn back in our prayer books now to page 282. Page 282, where we find words of Aleinu L'Shabeach. When you have found those words of prayer, if it is comfortable for you to do so, we invite you to rise.
Aleinu L'Shabeach L'Adon HaKol L'Teit Gedula L'Yotzer Bereshit Shelo Asanu Kegoyei Ha'aratzot Velo Samanu Kemishpachot Ha'adama Shelo Sam Chelkeinu Kahem V'gor Aleinu Kechol Ha'onam V'anachnu Korim U'mishtachavim U'modim Lifnei Melech Malachei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu V'nemar V'haya Adonai Lamelech
are welcome to be seated as we turn in our prayer books to page 294. Page 294. The lights of Hanukkah bring light into this dark time of year, and they are needed this week, perhaps more than most. Though his funeral is not until Sunday, and it goes against the Jewish tradition that he taught to offer the memorial prayer for one who is yet unburied. I would be remiss to not mention that the Jewish world lost one of its Gedolei Hador, one of the giants of this generation, with the sudden passing of Rabbi David Ellenson. Widely respected for his scholarship, integrity, and menschlichkeit, Rabbi Ellenson was a renowned scholar, author, and the head of the Hebrew Union College Jewish Institute of Religion for some 15 years, including when Emily and I were ordained as rabbis. Our prayers, not just this one, are with his family during this difficult time. I also want to recognize that many in Israel and in our URJ Camp Harlem community are mourning the loss of Gal Meir Eisenkote, a master sergeant in the Israel Defense Forces. Gal is the son of former IDF Chief of Staff Gadi and Hannah Eisenkote, and part of the 2021 Mishlachat, the delegation of Israelis serving as counselors and connectors to Israel at the Jewish summer camp a number of our young people attend. We hold them in our hearts as we recognize those even closer to our community whom we remember. We observe the period of Shloshim for Bernice Frank and commemorate the yahrzeit, the passing of Richard Ballin, Raymond Berkowitz, Erwin H. Brand, Herman Cohen, Herman Dixon, Philip Diskin, Lena Eisenberg, Jacob Feldman, Maurice Fishman, Beatrice Gilden, Joseph Goldhammer, Leonard Jubilier, Edith Lacey, Jack Levin, Jonathan Levy, Lawrence I. London, Ann Seltzer Lewick, Sarah Rebecca Malloy, Beatrice Miller, Jacqueline Miller, Teresa Morgan, Meyer Palkovitz, Belle Perlett, Jesse Rogalski, Sarah A. Rosenberg, Ruth Eisenberg Rubenstein, Iris Safferstein, Rabbi William Sajewitz, Estelle Schechter, Phyllis Selma Schloss, Ray Baidoff Selkovitz, Zelda Schlitt, Jerry Silverman, Phyllis Ann Taxon, Ellis Thompson, and Morris Zeichner. If there are others whom you are remembering this Shabbat, or if I have inadvertently mispronounced the name of a loved one, I would invite you to share their name at this time. Yehei zichronam livracha, may their memory be for us a blessing. Words of Kaddish Yatom, our mourner's prayer, page 294. And can I invite you to rise as you are able, as we stand in sympathy and support, shoulder to shoulder with those who mourn, as together we affirm, Yit Gadal, V'yit Kadash, Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala v'zman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lomei almaya yitvarach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitalev v'yithalal Shemei Dekudesha Barich Hu Le'ela Min Kol Birchata V'Shirata Tush Bechata V'Nechamata Damiran B'Alma V'Imru Amen. Yehei Shalama Rabba Min Shemaya V'Chayim Aleinu V'Al Kol Yisrael V'Imru Amen. Oseh Shalom Nimramav, Hu Yaseh Shalom, Aleinu ve'al Kol Yisrael, ve'imru. Amen. May God, who makes peace in the highest of heavens, make peace for us and for all who mourn. And together we say, Amen. You are welcome to be seated. As we invite our adult choir back forward, we do so with our gratitude. Thank you to the members of our choir for leading us in prayer, for sharing this gift out into the community for this holiday of Hanukkah, and for joining us throughout the year to come. A special thank you as well to Jim Burns and Marley Lyons, to the amazing team who made our dinner this evening possible, Sean and Molly and Melinda and so many others. Thank you to everyone who participated in our pretend latke making as part of the service. There was more to it than you saw. Given the ambiguity of you're the second potato, you'll know when. These volunteers simply had to wait throughout the service until the time was right. And I am grateful for all of your sense of humor and seeing us through this service. To conclude our service this evening, we join in the familiar words, not by might, not by power, but by Spirit alone, shall we all live in peace. Shabbat Shalom, Chag Sameach. Please join us for a special celebration. Grab a donut.
Oh, say shalom. Be